Their bodies might be locked up,
How long have you been incarcerated?
I've been incarcerated for 20 years.
but their voices are suddenly unshackled.
I don't want to leave anything on the table when I go there to tell my story.
Inmates at San Quentin State Prison are featured in a new podcast produced by Earlonne Woods and Antoine Williams, residents at this very institution.
I believe it's a glimpse inside of the world of prisons, hearing stories that people may not hear every day.
Why do we need to hear those stories?
Because I believe that we're human, we're regular people. The story just didn't end when we were convicted.
We have an opportunity to shed light on what really happens in prison.
The podcast is called Ear Hustle.
Ear hustling is prison slang for eavesdropping, listening in to something that may not be your business.
Williams, who's serving 15 years for armed robbery, is the sound designer, while Woods, sentenced to at least 31 years for attempted robbery, is the co-host. He's joined by Nigel Poor, an artist who volunteers here.
My goal for it, and one of the reasons we have it co-hosted by an outside and inside person, is to mirror this idea that inside and outside people can work together as equal colleagues with respect.
Woods took us to his cell, 3 North 76.
How big is this cell?
This cell is 4 feet by 9.
He shares this tiny space with another prisoner, which inspired the podcast's first episode entitled Cellies, another slang term short for cellmates.
What's your biggest fear about finding a cellie?
I have several fears, but one of them is someone that talks too much, that's always talking.
The podcast's first season is 10 episodes long and will cover a variety of topics. Things like parole, prison fashion, what it's like to celebrate a birthday behind bars, or even start a family.
I think this is going to be a more interesting question for people to answer.
To find stories, they venture onto San Quentin's sun-pummeled prison yard, a place ripe with thousands of memorable tales. But they don't want to minimize the crimes committed. Their latest episode focuses on a gang member's remorse.
It's about taking an incarcerated person, letting them tell their truth, but owning up to it.
The trio's big break came when they won a contest by the podcast network Radiotopia, topping 1,500 other entries.
It's a feeling that it can't be described. I can't really put into words, but it gave me a sense of value that I believe that I've lost.
Ear Hustle has been a fixture on the iTunes podcast chart, reaching as high as number 2. Their voices now stretching far beyond this prison's barbed wire-covered walls. For Today, Joe Fryer, NBC News, San Quentin, California.